The weekend's here, so it must be time to win with sports. I'm Joe Spano, along with the man that gets you to the pay window each and every week in the world of sports handicapping. He's Chris Long. In this edition of the Win with Sports radio program, we'll recap exactly how Win with Sports got you to the pay window last week. We'll then look ahead to all that big college football bowl action and the great money-making opportunities that are present there. And then we'll dive deep into Week 16 in the NFL, a whole host of games that present some great wagering opportunities. And the man that makes it all happen is Chris Long, and we're going to throw it to him as he's going to tell you about all the great opportunities that are front and center at Win with Sports as Chris and Lenny C are truly in the Christmas spirit and they're giving till it hurts.
Hey guys, how's it going today? So now, as you guys know, I'm one to brag every once in a while when I need to. Last week, if you listened to the show, we were giving away our total of the year, our game of the year, which was an easy winner. Once again, we had Appalachian State over 48. Joe, the final was 45-13. We went over 48 for both team combines. One team put up 45. So when that happens, unless it's a shutout, you're going to the pay window. To get information like that, 1-833-95-SPORT or 1-833-957-7678. You will get amazing winners like our total of the year, our game of the year, Appalachian State over 48. 58 total points were scored. One team put up 45 alone. Or you can reach us on the website at winwithsports.com. Once again, that's 1-833-95-SPORT or 833-957-7678. Later on, we're going to do a recap like we always do, but we have a return. We've had a lot of people asking about it. I usually only do it once a year, but we're going to return the Bankroll Challenge, Joe. The Bankroll Challenge is where you're going to take $1,000 and turn it into $8,000 a couple of days before Christmas. That program will be done by Monday. I think that's Christmas Eve. So everyone will be flush with cash. Bankroll Challenge. Use code word bankroll, and you will learn how to turn $1,000 into $8,000 by getting games like Appalachian State over 48.
I'm going to have to come up with another code name to call up with because the last time we did it, it worked so well for me that I walked away flush with cash. So hopefully everybody's smart enough to take advantage of this great opportunity and jump on the Bankroll Challenge. And we'll get into that as we move through this edition of Win with Sports. But when we come back, we'll recap exactly how the Win with Sports crew got you to the pay window last week. That's next on Win with Sports. Joe Spano, Chris Long with you. You be sure to keep it where it is. Chris, let's kick off Win with Sports by giving you a chance to crow. Once again, you got everybody to the pay window, along with the help of everybody at Win with Sports, led by Lenny C. And if you had called up, you went to the pay window in a major way and you walked away with pockets full of cash. So why don't you tell everybody exactly what you guys accomplished last week and how you got everybody to the pay window and how much money was out there to be made last week?
Well, Joe, I mean, as you know, this is what, Week 15 college, Week 16 NFL. I've been doing this show each and every week with you, and you do not hear me talk about a game of the year. I'm not one of these other guys. I don't have a game of the year every other week. We've had two on the season. We had a side of the year with Georgia over Alabama. Easy winner. And then we had our total of the year, which was Appalachian State over 48. Now, it's pretty funny. When one team puts up 45 points, it's really easy to get over 48. My math is correct. I just needed a field goal from the other team. So 48 points. We scored 58. A nice, easy winner. Appalachian State took their foot off the gas at the end. We cashed early third quarter. It was never even in doubt.
Cigar game, Chris. Cigar game. And it's not about winning easy. It's just about winning. But it seems in these game of the year opportunities, and like you said, they don't come up every week at Win with Sports. There was a side of the year. There was a total of the year. Common thread with both of them, cigar games. You were at the pay window very, very early, and you said this was even better than the Georgia over Alabama side of the year. And the realities were you were right. Mid-third quarter, you had cashed.
That is correct. Now, if you want to get these nuggets, you want to get these games, you got to give me a call at 1-833-95-SPORT. That's 833-957-7678. Lenny C. and I, Chris Long, we answer the phones ourselves. There are no hacky salesmen. There's no pushy salesman. You will talk to me. The same voice you hear right now is the voice you are going to hear over the phone. That's 1-833-95-SPORT or 833-957-7678, or you can go to the web at winwoodsports.com. Now, we have packages for every single person. The small guy, the big guy, the medium guy, the NBA guy, the hockey guy, the NFL guy. Whatever you like to do, we have a package for you. Now, we did a bankroll challenge. I'm not sure. I think it was about 5 or 6 weeks ago, and some fake guy named Joe Russo came in and picked up his $8,000 or more. We're not going to disclose exactly how much he made, but that was my co-host over here.
Let's put it this way: it wasn't $8,000. I took your suggestion and then did some multiplying and put down a little more than $1,000. So let's just say my first bet was $5,000. You do the rest of the math, and you know where I am.
So my co-host won a brand new car, believe it or not, off of our program. Bankroll challenge, guys. Turn $1,000 into $8,000. I'm going to do that specifically this week. We have a monster week coming up. I don't have any games of the year. I just have a bunch that are very strong, a bunch that we can use together. Roll it over, 1,000 into 8,000. Use code word BR, and I'll know that you mean business. Bankroll challenge, 1,000 to 8,000. You guys, you're going to receive games like Appalachian State over 48. 45-13 final. That's 58 points if my math is correct. Guys, another game that we also hit on this on the radio last week, Fresno State minus the 5. We talked about it. 31-20 winner. We talked about N'Keal Harry not playing. We talked about Fresno State actually having better athletes than the Pac-12 team. Well, Arizona State hung in there for a little while. I believe they led 20-17. But you can just see it. Without Harry, they were not able to move the ball consistently. 20 points for a Pac-12 team. You know, they're supposed to put up 30, 40 points. They did not. Easy, comfortable winner, 31-20 Fresno State. So those are two games that are extremely simple. Now I need to just find you a third one. And what do? The Tennessee Titans over the Giants.
You were all over this, and you alluded to it on the program to a great degree. You talked about how sure you were the Titans were the better team, and when you were betting the Titans, you were on them early enough in the week that you weren't laying 1, you were getting 2.
Yeah, and not only was I getting 2, if people who were with Winwood Sports, they took the 2. Maybe even pick them. Some even laid 1. But guys that woke up Sunday morning, they're looking up there and they're seeing 2.5, some 3s popping up. I mean, it helped that OBJ was out again. But the Titans being a better team, they had no business being an underdog to the New York Giants. And as you guys saw, they had no business being an underdog to the Giants. 17-0. I mean, Eli had one frantic clash towards the end, trying to avoid the shutout, and that went just like the rest of the day for the Giants. Feeble attempt at nothing. So, guys, 1-833-95-SPORT, 833-957-7678. Bankroll challenge. Turn 1,000 into 8,000. You will be, what's today?
Or turn 5,000 into 40,000.
5,000 into 40,000 if you're Joe Russo. And there are some guys out there, they don't like to be talked about on the radio, but there's guys that do 10,000 into 80,000. Believe it. There are some high rollers out there.
I'm already coming up with my new name.
And they take it.
So watch out. I'll be calling. I'm already coming up with my new name.
And Joe Russo, think about this. What are we looking at Saturday the 22nd? We're talking about 3 days before Christmas. Who couldn't use an extra 8,000? Who couldn't use an extra 40,000? Who couldn't use an extra 80,000? 1-833-95-SPORT or 833-957-7678. You will get games like Appalachian State over 48, 58 points total. Fresno State -5, 31-20 winner, wins by 11 very comfortably. Arizona State did not threaten without N'Keal Harry. And the Titans -1 over the Giants, 17-0. And Joe, that's more your neck of the woods, the old Giants. How you feeling about those guys?
Boy, that was a tough one to watch. You know, in looking at the game, I knew it was going to be a battle of running backs. It was going to really be Derrick Henry versus Saquon Barkley. That was the matchup, and the key was which team won it in the trenches. And it became apparent very early that two things were going to happen. The Giants did not want to tackle Derrick Henry once he got a head of steam behind him. And in the trenches, the Titans were the vastly superior team. And that was the story of this game. You kind of knew it going in, but once you woke up Sunday morning and you saw the weather at MetLife Stadium, you really knew that this game was going to be about those two running backs. And the story was the success of Derrick Henry and the lack of success of Saquon Barkley. And again, the trench play of the Tennessee Titans. That's one of the big factors for them and one of the things that really makes them effective. You know where else I want to go? I do want to go back to your discussion on Fresno State and Arizona State. And you had mentioned, well, everybody thinks the Pac-12 team is going to have the better athletes, and they're the team that should have the edge in a matchup against a Mountain West team in a bowl, and you guys were all over this at Win with Sports. But does that factor in when you start putting together these matchups, the fact that in general the Pac-12 had a down year, and that when you look at everything pretty much from the middle on down in the Pac-12, they don't have better athletes than, say, a lot of these Mountain West teams, and that there are a lot of times that those lines are off the mark, and it presents a great wagering opportunity for people that you guys at Win with Sports are on, and a lot of other services are not.
Yeah, you know, it's not always easy to tell which conference is. I mean, obviously, everyone's going to say the SEC. That's just a de facto answer all the time. But these teams, they're playing each other for the most part, so sometimes it's hard to tell if they're good or bad until they get out of conference, okay? So now we get a chance to look at a couple of games. We saw the Arizona State-Fresno State. We knew that the Fresno State was the better side, and it proved out to be. We get to watch. The beauty of this game is, Joe, we get to watch some of these teams play. We'll see a Pac-12 versus Big 12. We'll see a Pac-12 versus Mountain West. We'll see an SEC versus an ACC. So we can go ahead and we can get our information to formulate a better opinion as the games come down the line. To get this kind of information, 1-833-95-SPORT or 833-957-7678, or reach me on the web at winwithsports.com. And do not forget, this week, return of the Bankroll Challenge turned $1,000 into $8,000. Joe, take us home.
Enough looking back. Let's start looking forward and talk about how everybody's going to get to the pay window this week. And up next, it's bowl season in college football, and we've got some winners for you next here on Win with Sports. Joe Spano, Chris Long with you. You be sure to keep it where it is. Win with Sports rolls on. Joe Spano, Chris Long with you, and it's time to go bowling. The minor bowls are in full swing, and Chris, for the Win with Sports crew, minor bowls equal major money-making opportunities. So we're going to spotlight a bunch of them now, and you're going to show us exactly what side you should be on, what total you should be on, and how you can make money with these host of minor bowls that are taking place this weekend. And the place we'll start is Wake Forest versus Memphis. Memphis is a 3.5-point favorite in this one, so take us through this one.
All right, Joe, as always, we try to have some fun on the radio show. We try to give you a couple of nuggets here and there, but I can't give you the gold. I cannot just stand here and feed you the gold without getting someone to give me a call.
What do you give them? Do you give them silver, bronze, tin, aluminum? What kind of metal do you give them here?
Everyone gets silver. The gold stays at home. So 1-833-95-SPORT or 1-833-957-7678. That's where I have to start. You must give me a call for our Bankroll Challenge, the second edition of the Bankroll Challenge. It's backed by popular demand. That's where you're going to turn $1,000 into $8,000 or $10,000 into $80,000. Who knows? I don't know what kind of players are out there.
Or Joe Russo's going to turn his Alfa Romeo 4C into a Ferrari.
There you go. And both of them are good choices. But guys, 833-95-SPORT, 833-957-7678. All right, let's look at this. Wake versus Memphis. We got Memphis minus 3.5 with a total of about 73.5. Looking at this game, both teams play a really high pace, a really high tempo. sometimes in these bowl games when they have a lot of time off, teams will start slow. They try to find their footing. They're not really sure what's going on. I don't see that happening with these two teams. I think they're going to come in guns a-blazing. Both teams are looking to just run and gun up and down the field, and I think they'll be able to do it. Neither defense is too much to write home about. Let's go ahead and pass the side, and we'll go over the 73.5 in a battle of, some also-rans, some bottom feeders. Both teams should look to show out for the TV. Both teams should put up impressive numbers on offense, and both teams shouldn't be able to stop anyone. So let's go with over 73.5 is what I'm looking at without actually going to the computer.
And it's interesting you talk about this game. These are two of the worst defenses in major college football, particularly Wake Forest. Yes, both of these teams play at a fast pace, but that over total play is accentuated by the fact that both of these teams are at the bottom of all of college football as far as total defense. Wake Forest may be one of the 5 worst defenses in all of major college football. Memphis not far behind. So with college football rules, two teams that play at a quick pace offensively and two defenses not well equipped to stop anybody, I would be shocked if this doesn't get the over. Chris.
Yeah, and also it's not just that Wake has a really bad bottom 5 defense. The pace that their offense plays at doesn't help out their defense. So sometimes these teams are not like Oklahoma. Everyone thinks, let's say not say think, the stats will show it, that they have a terrible, terrible, terrible defense, okay? If you look at their stats, but that's because they score so quickly and they're on the field a lot. I'll tell you right now, Joe, I don't care what the stats tell me, I'll take Oklahoma's defense over Eastern Michigan. I don't care what the stats are going to tell me.
It's Eastern Michigan.
But the stats are going to say Oklahoma has the worst defense. But, that's why stats can lie sometimes. But yet, the teams, they play quicker. Their defense is on the field. Going from 2 terrible defenses to one that really has been showing out this year, Joe. The Black Knights of the Hudson. What do we got going over there?
Army laying 4.5 versus Houston. No Ed Oliver for the Houston Cougars. Then again, there's been no Ed Oliver most of the year for the Houston Cougars, as this has been a year where he got a hangnail and decided he was going to focus on getting ready for the NFL draft. The Black Knights of Army, option attack. Teams don't see option attacks very often, so they're hard to prepare for. The time off with the bowl helps a little bit, but that Army running attack is as good as any in America, and they have played well against some real quality opposition, most notably taking Oklahoma to overtime.
Yeah, now here's another one. You mentioned something very tricky there. So this is why these games are tough to read, and this is why you need someone like me, and not just me, someone like Winwood Sports, our round table, our 5 to 6 guys, our Lenny C, giving the final signature on anything that goes out. We have a team, and not one person is going to overrule the other. If anyone disagrees, if I have 4 guys on Army and 1 guy in Houston, Joe, it's not a majority rules. There's no play there. Everyone has to agree.
It's not consensus. It has to be unanimous.
And that's why you need Winwood Sports, 1-833-95-SPORT or 833-957-7678, or reach me on the web at winwoodsports.com. Maybe this game will be part of our bankroll challenge. I don't know. Turn 1,000 into 8,000. But let's look at it. So you mentioned something interesting. Houston, extra time to prepare for the option. But here's another thing you forgot to mention, Joe. They played Navy this year, so it's not foreign to them. They have played Navy. They will see the option. They have seen the option.
And they play Navy every year as they're both in the AAC, the American Athletic Conference. So, that is a good point. It's not completely foreign to them, but it's different when you have a week to prepare for it as opposed to a month to prepare for it.
Correct. And now here's one where, like I said, you're getting better at this each and every week. Ed Oliver. He's a monster. Okay, so against Central Florida, maybe it doesn't matter, but against Army, a team that runs and they rely on that fullback dive, Joe. Ed Oliver not being in there, like you said, maybe it's a hangnail. I remember he missed a game and he was jumping up and down on the sidelines, getting into a fight with his coach. It was a little crazy. He's a little prima donna, but he is an excellent talent and he's a beast in the middle. You're taking that out, and you also didn't mention quarterback King. De'Aaron King is not playing either. He's not going to be there. Ed Oliver's not going to be there. First glance, Army minus 4.5 looks like a steal. I like the way that they can control the clock. No Ed Oliver to worry about. They should be able to run it down Houston's throat. They should be able to stay on, keep that offense on the sidelines. They should be able to stay on the field. Army minus 4.5. Let's go ahead and throw that at you for now. But again, I'm going to give you what I think, what Chris Long thinks. We're not going to give you the best plays on the radio. We try to have some fun. We do give you nuggets. We do give you info. We do give you line moves, but we're not going to give you the official plays. That you need to do 1-833-95-SPORT or 833-957-7678. And I think we got 2 more matchups to get through. Take me away, Joe.
We sure do. Buffalo laying 1 versus Troy. Let's dive into that one. 2 teams that are not household names by any stretch of the imagination, but Troy in particular, over the last decade, has been a pretty darn good college football team, especially for a mid-major type college football team.
Yeah, Troy, definitely a great mid-major team. Year in and year out, you'll see them every once in a while, and they'll be taking Clemson down to the final play like they did a couple of years ago.
Every once in a while, they even spring the upset, and they actually knock a ranked team off or a power conference team off. It's not as shocking as it used to be, and it comes with some regularity.
Yeah, and you're right. It does come with some regularity. Every time you look up, you're like, oh, wow, Troy, beat a Power 5 team again. Well, also, Buffalo is no slouch either. Buffalo has been playing lights out. I cannot believe they lost that championship game to Northern Illinois. They had a comfortable lead. I don't know. I think it was like 29-10, something ridiculous, and they lost it at the buzzer. Northern Illinois came back and just, I don't know, sometimes when you get out there, Joe, and you take your foot off the gas, you can't put it back on. That's why these teams, that's why I was like Urban Meyer, as much as I can't stand him, when he was over at Utah, he would always go for the juggler. He would always try to destroy the team. He would never let a team back into it. Guys like that, and Dan Hawkins back in the day at Boise, before Peterson got there. I used to love watching those coaches that just go for the jugular. Well, they took their foot off the gas. This is a great mid-major matchup. Buffalo versus Troy. We're looking at Buffalo minus 1 and 49.5. Buffalo looks like a lot of the money came on under. A lot of the money came on Troy. I think it opened at plus 3, 53.5. We're just going to hold that one. We're going to put it in our back pocket. We're not even going to give you a free play on that one. We got something in the works on that game. Give me a call, 833-95-SPORT or 833-957-7678. Could it be part of our bankroll challenge? Could it be turning 1,000 into 8,000? I don't know, Joe. Let's see. What's next?
And last but not least in our hearts and minds, the Rainbow Warriors of Hawaii minus 1 versus Louisiana Tech. And what, again, intriguing matchup. Hawaii back to bowl action after a lengthy absence, and they've been pretty impressive this year. Are they an elite team? No, but they've certainly made strides, and they are always entertaining to watch as they're a high-flying attack.
Joe, it's pretty funny. This game, Hawaii, I have no idea how they're in a bowl game. I know they have a decent record. I know they're bowl eligible, and I know they had some wins late in the year that they never should have had. I remember watching that San Diego State game. I don't know. It's like smoke and mirrors, Joe. I don't know how they did it. I don't know how they won half the games that they did. They are a terrible, terrible, terrible football team.
Well, if you want to know why they're in a bowl, there's a million bowl games, and everybody that's 6-6 or better is in a bowl. And, that's the realities. They got to fill these slots. And again, to see Hawaii in a bowl is a good story. It's been a long time since they've been there. They do have some impressive wins. Yeah, they've been with smoke and mirrors, but if you want to know why they're there because somebody's got to fill the slot.
Yeah, and I'm just going to say this again. You're going to need to find a service like Winwood Sports, 833-95-SPORT or 833-957-7678. And here's why. Louisiana Tech in this game, if they're focused, if they bring their A game, if they don't get distracted with surfing in Hawaii or the girls or the hula skirts, I don't know. If they come focused and they make it a business trip, they don't belong on the same field. They will destroy Hawaii. But there are other factors. Hawaii, they've seen it. They live there. They know what to expect. Louisiana Tech, do they know what to expect? You know what? We know what to expect, but I'm not going to tell you that here. We know what's going on. We got our ear to the ground. I got a guy over in Hawaii that's letting me know what's going on over there. 833-95-SPORT or 833-957-7678. Joe?
Week 16 in the NFL is here, and we'll break it all down next here on Win with Sports. Joe Spano, Chris Long with you. No flipping. We continue with Win with Sports. I'm Joe Spano. He's Chris Long. And now it's time to flip to the league where they play for pay. The National Football League, Week 16 is upon us, and there are several matchups on this card that present great money-making opportunities. Win with Sports has isolated them all, and we're going to talk about a couple of those matchups here, but if you want the real gold, as we say, we're giving you silver, maybe even a piece of bronze here and there on the Win with Sports radio program, but if you want the real gold, you got to call Chris and the gang at 1-833-95-SPORT. That's 833-957-7678, and you get the gold. You got the bankroll challenge. Turn 1,000 into 8,000. Or you know what? Turn 10,000 into 80,000. Or do what I did, 5,000 into 40,000. You can actually use your real name. I can't. So I'm actually working on right now. If I seem distracted sometimes, don't worry. It's just me working on my new name. So that way when I call up, I can get the gold. That's going to get me to the pay window. And you guys can all take advantage of that opportunity too by dialing 833-95-SPORT. Again, 833-957-7678 if you want to go to the pay window and line your pockets full of cash for the Christmas season. Chris, let's dive right in and let's start with one of the main event matchups of the weekend. It's the Steelers +6 at the best team in the NFL right now, the New Orleans Saints. The Steelers rebounding and perhaps saving their season with a victory at Heinz Field over the New England Patriots last week.
And Joe, as you know, I have a little bit of my ADD working, so I know you want to start there, but things pop in my head each and every once in a while. So you said the league where they play for pay. So am I just realizing they don't get paid in college? I mean, I see these guys driving around in cars they're not supposed to be driving.
The coach, they're not supposed to be getting paid.
Okay.
And the games we talked about, those kids ain't getting paid. You know, those smaller mid-major type programs, which we discussed in the last segment, those programs don't generate enough revenue to pay those kids. So you don't have to worry. They'll be driving hoopties. The guys we're talking about now, they're all driving the kind of cars I like to drive.
And I hope I'm not dating myself by using this reference, but Eric Dickerson, when they asked him how he felt in the NFL when he got drafted as a rookie, and he goes, it was tough taking a pay cut. So, I mean, that's the old SMU days.
At SMU, that was the truth. Ron Meyer was paying everybody, man, and they were doing a hell of a job of trying to cover it up. But once the stuff gets out of the horse, it's messy, man. But let's get to the Steelers. It's +6 at the New Orleans Saints. Again, the Steelers rebounding with that huge win at home versus New England. The Saints, they're the best team in the NFL right now. They're the number one seed in the NFC right now, and I'm sure they want to stay there.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The Steelers team, this is a team that is tough to read. I mean, they're all over the place. I mean, they're winning games they're not supposed to. They're losing games they're not supposed to. But as far as talent goes, they're one of the most talented teams in the league. And I'm going to give you a little stat here. In the last 2 seasons, they have 2 losses by more than 6 points. That's it, just 2. So they played 32 games. They've only lost twice by more than 6 points. So I'm going to say, with the power ratings being pretty similar, Saints are slightly stronger than the Steelers. I just think as a pure numbers play, I'm going to say that the Steelers are going to be able to keep it within 6 points against the Saints. I'm not in love with the play, but it is a marquee matchup, and it is a game we started with. What I'm going to tell you is 6 points is probably too much. The Saints have leveled off. They peaked in that game against the Rams, but they have not looked great. I mean, they eked by the Panthers the other night, and Cam Newton can't throw it. He can't hit the broadside of a barn. They fell down by 2 scores against the Buccaneers. Give me the Steelers. Give me the team that's about equal, slightly less, and a team that doesn't get blown out, and give me the 6 points.
All righty, the Steelers are the play in that one. A little bit of silver there. Before we move forward, I want to go back to your reference as it relates to Cam Newton. And you guys at Win with Sports were on this for a while. And then I just read a couple of days ago that Cam Newton's being shut down because of his arm issues and his shoulder issues. So Winwood Sports was on this early, and it gave them some great opportunities to go to the pay window and make money because they knew about an injury that not everybody else did. So they got an edge, they got line value, which they crave, and they made you money. So call 1-833-95-SPORT. That's 833-957-7678. Talk to Chris Long, talk to Lenny C., and get that gold that will make you money, because this is all about making money. Yeah, it's fun to watch games, but if you're a sports wagerer and a sports bettor, you want to make money betting. It's not about getting some action. It's about making money. And the Winwood Sports crew will make sure you make money.
Yeah, and let's go ahead and skip forward to that game because you brought it up. You remember on your show probably about 3 weeks ago, we gave you the Browns over the Panthers, and we told you about Cam's shoulder. This is 3 weeks ago, Joe. I mean, he's been playing with, like you said, we were all over it. We had a game with the Browns over the Panthers 3 weeks ago. We told you about his shoulder. We told you about Tyler Heineke coming in there to throw some Hail Marys at the end of halves or games, and he just didn't have it in him, and now he's getting shut down. Now, here's the reason I need you to call Winwood Sports at 1-833-95-SPORT or 1-833-957-7678. I gave this game out, the Falcons and the Panthers, under 47.5, Joe. I gave this out under 47.5 to my paying customers. We knew Cam was hurt. I did not know he wasn't going to play, but there was rumblings that once they were eliminated that they were going to shut him down, but we weren't sure yet. We went under 47.5. As I look at this line right now, it's 43.5. That's 4 points of line value. 4 points in line value. You cannot understand how much value that is. Win or lose, you get yourself on the right side of a 4-point line move, you are going to make money year after year. Does it mean you're going to win this game? No, but it means you're going to hit 65-70%, and that's what we do at Winwood Sports. 1-833-95-SPORT or 833-957-7678. And one last quick note about that game. I still think you can go under 43.5. Like I said, we don't give you the gold here. I'm not just making stuff up. Anything I say on this radio, I do really believe. But in order to call and get the best plays, 833-95-SPORT, 833-957-7678. Joe, under 43.5 is still good enough for these listeners.
You loved it at 47.5, though. That 4 points, could prove to be huge.
Exactly. That's what we do. We put ourselves in that position. And who knows, Joe, maybe come Sunday, maybe I'm looking at a 42, and then what do? I go over, and I got 43, 44, 45, 46, 47.
We got a middle.
Yeah, and we did that once on the show.
Absolutely. We love middles here on Winwood Sports. Let's go to the Eagles, -2 versus the Houston Texans. Huge matchup, playoff implications as far as not only getting in the playoffs, but in some cases, particularly for the Texans, seeding in this one. So playoff implications on both sides in this matchup.
Joe, I got to look at my papers again because, again, I'm not too adept at looking at, stats and trends. I look at the individual matchup between the two teams. I get a computer number. I get guys who read into it. I get guys who watch it. And then we just dot the I's and cross the T's. But what I do know, Joe, is right now I believe the Houston Texans are the 2 seed in the AFC. They could be, and this is not a joke, they could be the worst 2 seed in the history of the NFL. I don't know. Like I talked about smoke and mirrors with Hawaii. Bill O'Brien is an extremely bad coach. And sometimes he goes up against an even worse coach, like when he fought Vance Josephs. We'll get on him in a little bit. But it's like I don't understand how they come out of these games with wins. They go out, and other coach would not use the right timeout. He might go for it in the wrong spot. He might kick a field goal from 55 yards like Vance did. I mean, there's so many things. They are the absolute worst number 2 seed I've ever seen if they do happen to grab that. So you know what? Eagles, Nick Foles, is there much of a drop-off between him and Wentz? Have you seen any drop-off, Joe?
Well, it's one game, and the realities are, this coaching staff has figured out how to put together an offense with Nick Foles behind center. So while there is a drop-off, it's not a huge drop-off, and particularly this year because the realities are Wentz and this offense weren't great all year long. So I don't really think you see a lot of drop-off with Nick Foles at quarterback for the Eagles this year.
No, and again, here's another game. I don't mind giving this out to you. We took the Eagles at pick. I mean, as you heard my little diatribe about how bad I think Houston is, we took the Eagles at a pick. We're staring at a -2 right now. I think I could still lay the 2 with the Eagles. I think the Eagles will knock off the Houston Texans and put those Patriots, who I can't stand either. I have a lot of hatred, Joe, for players and teams, but I love my customers, and I love making them money, and it's Christmas, so let me get off the hatred here. But that's going to knock the Patriots into the 2 seed again after the Eagles come up with a victory here. So go ahead, lay the 2. But again, 833-95-SPORT or 833-957-7678. Bankroll Challenge. Who doesn't need $8,000 this weekend? 1,000 into 8,000 in 3 short games. Your program will be completed Monday night or sooner, just in time for Christmas. And you can tell Merry Christmas to everyone out there. 833-95-SPORT or 833-957-7678. What's next?
And to wrap it up, the Chiefs laying 2.5 at the Seattle Seahawks. Again, a game with huge playoff implications as far as seeding and in some cases as far as teams getting in or not getting into the playoffs.
And Joe, before we get into that game, when you call me this weekend for your fake name, don't use Ron Rivera, okay? Because he's a customer of mine. Because he's looking for work. He's looking for money. I mean, this guy, you called it. I called it. We both called it. Don't use Ron Rivera. Use a different name because we already have a Ron Rivera
how about Todd Bowles
or Vance Joseph. How about that name?
That's not bad.
Yeah. So we got a couple good names out there. But you know what? All kidding aside, KC versus Seattle. Kansas City is the better team here. They have been the whole entire year. Seattle, as much as Pete Carroll, he's a Super Bowl winner and a Super Bowl loser, this might be his best coaching job ever. You don't follow the markets, but I do. I think their win total opened up at 7. 7 and 9, that's what they were looking at. And the wise guys were jumping in hand over fist to bet the under. They did not believe in this team. With the Legion of Boom being broken up and Sherman going on and all these guys breaking up and Michael Bennett disappearing, they thought nothing of this team, and they're right there in the playoff hunt. Actually, I mean, unless they do something real crazy, they'll be in the playoffs, which is a shock for this team. But KC is the better team here. It is a rough environment. Let's see if Mahomes can handle that. It's really his first year. I know he got a start late last year, but it's his first year. I'm going to pass that game. It's another one of those games that I'm going to hold on to myself. Great matchup. I'm not going to give out anything over here. But if you want to get the info, you want to get the gold, you want to get the 411, 833-95-SPORT or 833-957-7678 or reach me on the web at winwithsports.com. Bankroll Challenge. $1,000 into $8,000 2 days before Christmas. $1,000 to $8,000, 833-95-SPORT. 833-957-7678. Joe, anything else to add?
That's about it, but I think I have come up with my name that I'm going to call in with this week because I want to get on board. I'll tell you about it. I'll clue you in on it off the air and make you laugh a little bit. But
I'm laughing just thinking about what it's going to be.
Up next, we'll tie a bow around this edition of Win with Sports. I'm Joe Spano. He's Chris Long. Again, remember the Bankroll Challenge. 1,000 into 8,000 is a whole lot of fun. Who couldn't use money around the holidays? And Win with Sports is going to help make it happen for you. We'll tie a bow around it next here on Win with Sports. Joe Spano, Chris Long, keep it where it is. Well, Chris, let's tie a bow around it, and that's apropos with Christmas right around the corner. But let's wrap up this edition of Win with Sports, and we covered a lot of ground today. Great plays in the National Football League for Week 16. Great plays in some of these minor college football bowl games. We talked about the Bankroll Challenge. And again, make sure you call 1-833-95-SPORT. That's 833-957-7678. And take advantage of the ability to turn $1,000 into $8,000 just by talking to Chris Long or Lenny C. Chris, Tell us what else you guys got cooking at Win with Sports, and give them the skinny on everything that's going on and all the different packages and all the different ways that they can get to the pay window thanks to Win with Sports.
Yeah, and as always, I try to keep this light. I try to keep it funny, but we're in the serious business of making people money. And I will tell you this, I have losing days, I have losing weeks. I have never had a losing year in 20 years doing this. And Lenny C., about 40 years, I can't go back before I didn't know him. We do not lose in a year. Okay, you put yourself on the right sides, and I always tell you, we bet numbers. We do not bet teams. I do not bet the Broncos. I bet +8. That's all I see. So, guys, 1-833-95-SPORT or 1-833-957-7678. We have the Bankroll Challenge where you're going to turn $1,000 into $8,000. $1,000 into $8,000 2 days before Christmas. WinWithSports.com is where you can reach me on the net. And like I said, we had our total of the year winner on Appalachian State over 48. Easy winner. Our Titans up -1 over the Giants. We gave that here. We gave Fresno State here on the radio. Guys, whatever I give you on the radio, I don't throw garbage out there. I really do like it. But when you pay me, you get the conglomeration of Lenny C., me, my round table, my other 5 or 6 guys. You don't pay Chris Long. You pay Win with Sports. And when you play with Win with Sports, you are a winning bettor. 833-95-SPORT or 833-957-7678. Bankroll Challenge, 1,000, 8,000. Joe, tie a bow.
Let's do it. First of all, I want to wish you a very, very Merry Christmas, man. It's been a lot of fun doing this. Look forward to getting back next week after Christmas, finding out what kind of wonderful gifts you got for Christmas. I'll tell you all about mine. Hopefully you get to eat some wonderful food, particularly seafood, as all Italians like seafood during the holidays. For Chris Long, I'm Joe Spano. We'd like to wish you a very Merry Christmas and remind you that we'll see you at the pay window.